So now that the chicken is waiting to cool, I'm gonna go ahead and take our rice along with the vegetables that we went ahead and cut up earlier today, and we're gonna put it in the broth and let it start to cook while we're waiting for the chicken to cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump the rice in here. Put the whole box in, along with our vegetables. So now that all the celery, carrots, onions, along with the brown rice pilaf is in here, I'm just gonna give it a quick stir. We want 2 tablespoons of salt and some fresh cracked pepper. So I have this little salt grinder here. Use kosher salt. I like kosher salt better than table salt. I'll find it less salty. If that makes any sense, I use less of it. Okay, so we're gonna do salt. It takes me a while to grind this, so there. And some fresh cracked pepper. As little or as much as you'd like with a pepper. Some people like it real peppery, like me and my family. Others just want a little hint of it, which is fine. You want to turn the heat up to high. Because remember, we turned it down medium while the chicken was cooking, so that it was at a rolling boil. So now that we added more ingredients, we just want to turn it up to high so that it comes up to a boil. We want to keep an eye on it. Close the lid. And we'll go check on our chicken for shred. So these guys are still a little warm, but I think I could handle it. What I'm going to do actually is take a fork and took the skin off and peeled it off the chicken. And I'm just going to shred this up. Probably helps to have 2 forks. I could use my hands if it's not too hot. It's a little bit so hot. Just take 2 forks. Just take it off the bone. As much as you can off. What I'm gonna do is take all the meat. And you could shred it small, shred it into large pieces. It really all depends on you. Same thing on all of them. I'm gonna carefully take the skin off because I don't want that all in my soup. I do want it in the broth while I was making it because I think it does need a little bit of fat. Since I'm not really putting any oil or anything in there. And the bones for the flavor, so this is why I love making my homemade chicken soup. So now that the vegetables and the rice have been cooking for about 30 more minutes, we're ready to go ahead and put the shredded chicken in. We're gonna taste it for flavor and kind of add more salt or pepper as much, depending on how you're tasting it. And we should be all done, and we'll move on to a really easy dessert that I have with store-bought pound cake and some fresh blueberries, okay? So let's go ahead and check to this. Is definitely smelling good. Okay, so now I'm gonna taste for seasoning. Make sure it has enough salt and pepper in it. Okay, we want just a little bit more salt and pepper. And it's very important to always taste your cooking as you go because you'll never really know how good or bad it is if you don't taste it. And that's really a good cook secret. It's tasting your food along the way. And that's also what's really nice about cooking. Is that you could, as you go, kind of taste, add ingredients as you like. Oh yeah, now you can see the pepper. Like I said, I really like fresh cracked pepper and I put it on everything. And the soup is no exception. So now I'm gonna go ahead then, put it in our bowl. A ladle. Oh yeah, that's delicious. So hearty. ready to taste. Chicken and rice soup. It's hot, but it's so good. On a nice cold day like this, it's a perfect meal. Oh yeah, that's good. So I'm gonna set that aside. We're gonna make a really quick dessert. Like I said, I got some store-bought golden pound cake. Just open it up here. And there are lots of specialty grocers, fresh markets that get their baked goods delivered every morning from a local bakery. So you don't also, it's a really good way to get fresh baked items. Look how awesome that looks. I have a pint of blueberries here that we're gonna wash real quickly to make the sauce to go on top of our store-bought pound cake. So we're gonna go ahead here, quickly run it through. Don't need to do much. Run it through the water and just set it aside. Turn off our soup here. And look at. In just a small pan, we're just gonna turn it on, put in the blueberries, 1 pint of blueberries, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and let it cook together, and that's your topping, okay? Just gonna let those blueberries cook with the brown sugar on medium-low heat for about 5 to 8 minutes. Put the berries over it. And I'll bring this over so you can see. You can smell the brown sugar. Just put berries all over your pound cake and serve it to your guests. And I think it's a pretty good meal that we've done for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to Mama Cuisine. If you want to see any more recipes or articles, please visit mamacuisine.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel right here. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.